Well, joining us now live from Washington, D.C. to talk more about all of this is Ariel Cohen. He's a senior fellow at the Atlantic Council. Thank you so much, Dr. Cohen. Earlier this year, you wrote about the Trump-Putin honeymoon being over. But after today's 2-hour-long meeting between the two leaders at the G20, do you still believe that?
Yes, I do, because massive establishments, massive bureaucracies on both sides are not interested in a new détente, in a new improvement of the relationship. And I don't think, even given obvious goodwill coming from Mr. Trump, given that Russia is in a de facto Cold War against the United States, that we will be able to move the needle on that significantly. And Mr. Trump just gave Mr. Putin a major achievement in Syria, posting Russians as a policeman for safe zones there and indicating that the future of President Assad is secure for now. It is indeed a great accomplishment for Putin. And beyond that, now we have leaks in our media about Russia probing the cybersecurity of American nuclear reactors, which can be not just dangerous, but catastrophic.
Dr. Cohen, how much does this embolden Russia, in your opinion?
I think the lack of the reaction of the Obama administration, we saw Obama not really moving hard against Russia as early as summer and fall of last year, when it was clear that they are intervening in our election campaign. That, for about 6 months, brought a green light for the Russians to increase their meddling. And then, of course, the reaction came probably too little, too late in January, when we kicked them out of two alleged intelligence gathering facilities, aka Russian rest houses in Maryland and New York. And that probably was not enough.
But we're talking about this president. If this president won't acknowledge the seriousness of the Russian espionage, how can the U.S. fight it? We heard what he said yesterday in Poland about his own intelligence services.
The results of Mr. Trump not pursuing a stronger line on Russia is that the U.S. Senate passed an unprecedented package of sanctions. Both Republicans and Democrats, 97-2 vote in the Senate, unprecedented, and limited the scope of maneuver for Mr. Trump. Now we'll see how the House will behave, and we will also see if the Congress is going to push the envelope further on Syria and other places to limit what the president can do in foreign policy, which is, by Constitution, his bailiwick. It's what the presidents do. They are the commanders-in-chief, after all. They are our foreign policy leaders. But it is the Congress and also the intelligence community. The intelligence community being repeatedly contradicted by the president after all the hard work they put in their assessments of Russian cyber attacks and meddling in our political system. The intelligence community will make its voice heard on this issue as well.